My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff. This build today is absolutely crazy. We're going to have infinite suspension, rendering our enemies completely useless. We are also going to be featuring slice, so we can sever the targets, reducing their damage by 40%. Look at that damage reduction, absolutely disgusting. As well as the damage reduction, we are also going to be featuring a fusion rifle with controlled burst, so we can do some serious damage as well in endgame content. Loads of damage reduction, loads of suspension, rendering enemies completely useless, and plenty of damage. Stay tuned, I'm going to break it all down. The first part of the build is going to be based around the Titan exotic legs, the Abeyant leaps. Drengrs lash spawns 2 additional projectile, it tracks targets more aggressively and travels further. You gain woven mail every time you suspend target or targets. The suspension is absolutely crazy, but you get woven mail, which is a 40% damage reduction. Drengrs lash is what you want to be pairing it with. Activate your class ability to create a ripple in reality that travels forward, suspending targets nearby. We're going to pair that up with Banner of War as well, just for that extra healing from finishers, melee and sword kills. This is what Abeyant leaps do. Look at that. Suspended that fella, no problem, he can't do anything to you, and on top of that you're granted woven mail. He's also capable of suspending multiple targets like so you got woven mail on the fly. But what we're going to do, we're going to buff it out with unravelling orbs. Picking up an orb of power grants your strand weapons unravelling orbs. These are chronically underrated in my opinion. They are like little strand wolfpack rounds. Horde Shuttle is another seasonal artifact pair we can run. Damage unravel targets with a weapon, occasionally spawns a threadling. Because we are suspending everything with the Abeyant leaps, Thread of Wisdom is an absolutely crazy fragment to run. Defeating a suspended target creates an orb of power. Pair that with a solar strand dual siphon, so all your strand and solar kills create orbs. You've literally got unraveling rounds on the fly, and that is an instant buff to your strand weapons. Suspension, get your woven mail, and anytime you want you're going to have unraveling rounds. Literally underrated very much in my opinion. Just extra damage and they will just fly around and cause carnage. Thread of Mind is another one. Defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy. Now just watch how much class ability energy I get back from this. If I'm a Abeyant leaps, Drengrs lash, I'm only going to kill 3 enemies. 1, 2, 3, or maybe 4, sorry, and you've literally got your class ability back. Absolutely insane. Scatter Signal is the weapon of choice. It is a Strand fusion rifle, 460 rounds per minute, rapid fire frame. The perk that works really nice with this is Slice. Slice is very nice. I'm a poet and I didn't know it, but casting your class ability allows this weapon to sever targets on hit for an improved duration. So basically Slice, whenever you hit something with this perk, it's going to reduce their damage by 40%. Severing, 40% damage reduction. Control Burst is the other perk I put on this. Landing every shot in a burst grants this weapon increased damage and reduced charge time for a short duration. So we get plenty of damage with Control Burst. It grants 20% increased damage and 10% decreased charge time for 2 seconds. So you're going to get loads of damage with Control Burst and loads of damage reduction with Slice. It's also got the origin trait on there, Dragon's Vengeance. When an ally dies or reaches critical health, this weapon magazine refills. It gains bonus range, charge rate and handling. So I just popped into this lost sector just to show you it working. I have obviously got clips of it working in a GM as I always do, but you're going to use your class ability, suspend things, that's rendering them enemies unable to do anything to you for like 4 seconds, and then your slice lasts for about 8 to 9 seconds. So while they're suspended they can't do anything to you, and if you don't manage to kill them when they come down, they've also reduce damage to you by 40%, plus you've got your woven mail going on, which is a 40% damage reduction, so you're an absolute unit just by using your class ability. Now this is absolutely a perfect clip to show you because these enemies do hit very hard in this GM, and especially this big tanky strand fella. You'll see the damage reduction from the slice. Here, look at that, absolutely crazy. Usually he can 2-tap you. Honestly, you've done this GM, you'll know what I'm talking about, but look at that. That is the slice, and don't forget slice actually applies to your teammates as well. So you've got your woven mail going on, you've actually rendered the enemies completely useless anyway from your Abeyant leaps, and on top of that you're going to reduce their damage by 40%. So it's an absolutely crazy little setup. In this clip here, you'll see, got my woven mail. All them enemies there, if I don't manage to kill them, they are going to be severed from the slice perk. And then you can just get yourself going, get that banner of war going, your woven mail, and you're an absolute unit. Now this is where the damage part comes into it. You've obviously got all your unravelling rounds going, but control burst just absolutely demolishes these enemies. You've got your Abeyant leaps there. Again, the sliced, severed, I'm going to keep saying it, and you're putting out some serious damage. And don't forget, I know I'm in a well here, but I have got a clip as well. Unravelling rounds are actually classed as anti-barrier as well. So that's just a little added bonus. And then you'll see again, you'll know again if you've done this GM, these enemies are pretty tanky. But you can just chew through these when you got that unravelling rounds going and you control burst. Unravelling rounds, control burst, severing, woven mail, suspending. And then just to add it off, you'll see this unravelling rounds, this anti-barrier champion. That is working very, very nicely. So unravelling rounds are anti-barrier as well. Explosive light rocket launchers or something like a strong Strand machine gun or a Strand grenade launcher is a really good one. But I like this one with the explosive light. Again, just to add the unravelling rounds in there. You suspend some, pick that up. And then unravelling rounds, basically just extra damage for your rocket launcher. Obviously get your ×7 explosive light and you're going to get even more damage. So all in all, an absolutely crazy build. I'm going to show you all my loadout and everything as we go, so stay with me. Scatter signal is obviously my primary weapon that I like to run, but there is some shotguns I've also could get slice as well. Polaris Lance is just too good not to run, especially for this week's GM. Barrier unstoppable, and then this rocket launcher, or like I said, something like a heavy grenade launcher or even a sword. Banner of War aspect paired with Drengrs Lash, which we've briefly touched on. So they're the two aspects. Now you grapple. I like to run the grapple grenade so I can proc my Banner of War just for the grapple melee, but you can actually switch out to shackle grenade for more suspension if you wish. Now my fragments, thread of generation, dealing damage, generates a grenade energy, really good fragment, too good not to run in my opinion. Thread of continuity, suspend, unravel and sever effects applied to you have an increased duration, just a no-brainer, definitely run that one. Thread of mind, which we've touched on, defeating suspended targets, grants class ability energy, and then thread of wisdom to create an orb also, which again we've already touched on. Quickly go over my mods now. I like to run double time dilation to make your armor charge have an increased duration. 2 of them, and then I like to run a bomber. Every time I use my class ability, you just get a bit of grapple or shackle grenade energy back. Legs, I like to run 2 or 3 Strand weapon surges, as I mainly focus on Strand weapon surges. But you can actually just switch one out if you wish to something like a Strand harmonic holster or scavenger, something like that. That is entirely up to you. Either a holster or a Strand scavenger. Chest piece, again, this is sort of like whatever you're doing at the time. So concussive dampener and a couple of resistance mods, arc, solar void, whatever the activity is at the time. On my gauntlets, I like to run heavy-handed. Your powered melee final blows create orbs of power. This is just another supply for unravelling orbs. Create an orb, get that unravelling rounds. Font of Vigor, you gain a bonus to strength every time you have an armor charge. This gives you plus 50, and then focusing strike grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a powered melee attack. Really, really good for your Drengrs Lash and your Abeyant leaps. Solar Strand dual siphon mod, rapid solar or strand final blows create orbs of power. Special ammo finder, special ammo scout, and that's pretty much my build. I will leave a dim link in the video description, but an absolutely crazy build. Loads of damage reduction, loads of damage, excellent for your teammates, and it makes things pretty easy, guys. Absolutely solid build. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know what you think. Hopefully I'll catch you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.